Hello, everyone, and welcome to H.O.P.E. My name is Tammy Lynn Connors. This is my YouTube channel and my podcast, helping other people evolve. What my mission and vision with H.O.P.E is just to help people know that they're not at home struggling all by themselves. It is a reminder that we all go through struggles and we can get to a strength. So usually what I do is I interview people that have been through unfortunate struggles, but fortunately have figured out a way to get to a strength. And that's what I love to do. Now, today, you get me by myself. Happy end of 2022 and happy going into 2023. I feel like what I love to hear, and then when people message me and just say, hey, I listened to one of your podcasts today and I got up off the couch and I walked outside, and I haven't done that in a few days. Or I got up and I made dinner for my family, or I went for a walk. Those are what my vision and mission is, just to see people do that. I know that so many of us struggle at home. We struggle alone. We feel like we're all by ourselves. I've been there. So whenever I talk about some of these struggles that we've been through, I've been through struggles. So I never tell anybody, I know how you feel. I would never say that to anybody because I don't know how they feel. Everybody has different feelings, emotions, the way they handle things. But I can relate to a lot of what people gone through. I never like to be like, here's my struggles, feel sorry for me, because that's not it. Here's my struggles. Be thankful, grateful, and blessed like I am that I got through these struggles and I'm able to get to a strength, and I'm able to try to be the light in this world. We live in a pretty dark world. I hate to be like that because I like to be the brightness. But I'll tell you one thing I don't do is I don't sit and I don't dwell on the news. I don't dwell on the media. I am a big advocate of not watching that. If I see things, I will change the channel or I will get off my Facebook or whatever I'm doing. But I always like to say this, I'm well aware of what is happening, right? But I'm also well aware that if we could all shift our mindset and our energies to a different level of joy, excitement, and gratitude, we would have a whole different society. It only takes one person to change it all, right? So I'm just going to try to be that change. I'm going to be that person that tries to change the world. I have a lot of people in my corner that are very, very positive people, very influencing people, always out there trying to make better for everybody. And those are who I keep in my corner. I feel like whenever we get in ourselves, in our own little, poor me, we need to find those people that are going to be like, not like, oh, it'll be okay, Tammy, not those people. We need those people that are like, you are your competition. You are the one that has to get your ass up and do something. Nobody else is going to do it for you, right? I mean, even with my podcast, right? I him-hawed about it. I procrastinated for a year, and I use the excuses of, losing people in 2020, COVID in 2020. It wasn't the time to start it. I could have easily started it in 2020, but I procrastinated and I had fear. Was it really going to work? But nobody was going to be able to do it for me. Nobody picked up my laptop and said, here, take this, Tammy, do your podcast. No, it was, here, Tammy, you got this. You do this on your own. That's where we learn to get to our strengths from our struggles, right? If we sit back and just, everybody goes through struggles, okay? Every single person in this entire world, I can almost guarantee, has been through some type of struggle. The question is, how do you get to a strength? How do you go into 2023 with a different attitude that you went in out of 2022? I'll tell you one way that you can do it. You can get up in the morning and you can have some gratitude. That is the biggest step to take. In the morning when I get up, I take a premium supplement, which I absolutely love. I take that before my feet hit the floor in the morning. And then I say a prayer and I thank God for waking me up. I pray for my friends. I pray specific prayers for people. And then I do a list of gratitude. Man, I go down a list like, thankful for Chad. Thankful for my car. Thank you for having a roof over my head. Thank you for a job. Thank you for all the opportunities I have. Thank you for the people that you put in my life. Thank you for the people that you're putting in my life. You start talking like that, I'm telling you, things will change in your life, but you have to be the one to do that. I can't do that for you. I can't call you every day and say, hey, so-and-so, did you say your gratitude today? We're not in kindergarten, okay? And I'm just being a little blunt here because I get tired of hearing, I can't. You can't what? You can't look in the mirror and say, man, today is going to be a great day. Maybe you don't look in the mirror and be like, man, I got some pretty eyes. Or maybe you don't look in the mirror and like, oh, I like my freckles now. I didn't like them before. Or maybe you look in the mirror and say, oh, I don't have such a bad high forehead like my mother told me my entire life, right? Maybe you don't do those things, but maybe you can look in the mirror and start with little things, baby steps, just look in the mirror and be like, I'm going to have a great day today. Or look in the mirror and say, I am going to smile at someone today because it might change their day. Those are things that you have to think about. I'm not a big person that it's all about me at all. I'm all about who's out there, who can I help, who can I make smile, who can I make their day better, who can I make their day brighter, what can I do to make people know that they are loved, let people know that they are made perfectly imperfect, make people know that how they are is exactly how they're supposed to be. And once you start feeling that inside you, once you start having that, those aha moments when you're like, yeah, you look in the mirror and you're like, I'm telling you, things change. You're like, I don't look that bad. The next day, well, I'm looking a little better today. Gosh, I guess that wasn't true, right? You have to start believing yourself. You can't believe the lies that you were told whenever it started. I talk about this. I went to an event one time and they had us bring a picture of ourselves when we were little, okay? Like a picture of us, a little girl, little boy, when you're like 5 or 6 or whenever you stop believing in yourself, when somebody told you something that you couldn't do, and hold that little picture up and think to yourself, would you say the things to that little girl or that little boy that you've said to yourself? Would you ever? I think about little Fitz that I babysit. Would I ever say the things to little Fitz that I used to say to myself in the past few years? I mean, I'm not talking about when I was a kid and I said it to myself. I'm talking over the last few years. Would you look at that little child and say those things? No, you would crush that little child. Why would you do that, right? Why do you do that to yourself? Why do we crush ourselves? Why do we hurt ourselves? It's not that somebody else is hurting us. We're allowing that. It's that we hurt our own heart. We're the ones that allow it. So what we need to start doing is getting some tools in place, some ideas in place, some books to read, some self-development, some YouTube videos. There's so many things that are out there to help us, but we can't help ourselves if we don't help ourselves. Does that make sense? I can't help me if I don't help me, right? If I sit on the couch and I whine and I moan and I groan because it's been rainy outside or because working at the casino isn't my favorite place to be right now, I can sit and moan and pout about it. Or I can be like, you know what? I'm grateful to be alive today. I'm grateful that I get to breathe this air. I'm grateful that I get to hear the birds chirp. I'm grateful that I get to go to work, get paid. I get to smile. I might change somebody's life at that casino. You think of all those things. So basically what I'm saying here is we have to take everything negative and turn it into a positive. And I'm not sitting here saying that it's easy peasy because it's not. I get it. I can relate. When I talk about struggles to strength, when I talk about the hope that there is, it's because I've been there. I've been through enough struggles. Okay. I've been through the abuse of my father and my father abusing my mom. I saw my father dead in a bathtub when I was 13 years old and he was 34. I picked my lifeless baby out of his crib at 6.5 months old. I've had my bonus son killed in a car accident. I've had my best friend take a pill and it was fentanyl and die. So when I talk about going through struggles, I've been there. I'm a recovering alcoholic addict. I've been in recovery for 18.5 years. And it's not because somebody made me do it. It's because I had to do it. I'm the one that has to make that choice. So when you're going into 2023, you got a day and a half or a day and a few hours. Figure out what you're going to do different in 2023. It doesn't have to be a major, like, oh, I'm going to start a podcast, or I'm going to write a book, or I'm going to do this. Man, baby steps, you guys, and give yourself grace, but take baby steps. Every little step you take will get you a little closer to where you want to be. I have people message me all the time, like, how do you stay so positive? How do you stay so happy? Because I get up with prayers and gratitude every day. I don't let the noises from the outside get to me. Don't get me wrong. There's times when I'm a little bit on the edge there myself, like, whoo, you got my heart rate up to 120 and it shouldn't be that high. But I learn now I have tools to calm myself back down and figure out what it was that triggered me to get that upset about something. That's what we have to learn. We have to learn what our little triggers are, what trauma happened to us that made us feel this way when somebody did something like this to us, because most likely it's something that we haven't healed from. And we have to go through a healing process. We all do if we're going through things. There's something there that we have to heal from. If we don't heal from it, we're just going to continue to hurt. And of course, there's no medical claims, there's nothing that I know of knowledge of anything, but from reading and learning, so many people are sick inside because of the trauma or the damage that has happened to them, and they hold on to it. They keep it inside them and it eats them alive. Have you ever heard that sentence? Like, man, it's eating me alive. Stress, anxiety, all of that will eat you alive. It will kill you. There's so many stories, there's so many statistics, there's books that you can read about it. Sickness comes from being just unhealthy inside, not just from food wise, from mental wise. You got to remember your gut and your brain are connected. Okay. If your gut's not feeling good because you're not eating right, then your brain's going to be a little bit deteriorating. If your body is holding on to trauma, if your body's holding on to unforgiveness, if it's holding on to those things, just think of it like this. Like, here it is, here's your troubles, here's your all your things, right? And then you can go, if you guys can't see me on my podcast, I'm like fluttering my fingers out, like flying away, right? You can have it all fly away, or it can come back in, it can come together. You come together, it squeezes together like a fist, and then it just keeps tightening and it keeps tightening. And the next thing you know, your intestines are tightening, and now your heart, and now your lungs are starting to feel weird, and everything just goes like that. I'm not saying that's exactly how it's going to happen. I'm just saying, when you don't let go of things, it's going to eat you alive, just like the sentence says. Now, that's the first time I really just had an aha moment with that, like literally eat you alive. It's going to make you sick. It's going to make you mentally like draining, because you're always constantly thinking of that thing that you haven't forgotten or forgiven. Our traumas we've been through, our hurts we've been through. I go through hurt still. It's not like, I say this all the time, I don't have a bubble around me. I don't have a bubble around Tammy Lynn Connors that says, oh, Tammy Lynn Connors, she's out there sharing hope with the world. We will let nothing happen to her. God doesn't say that. It doesn't work like that at all. Trust me. And a lot of my struggles, I put on myself. I'm not going to lie. When I have, I talk about don't hurt your own heart. I hurt my heart a lot. I see a lot of good things in people, and I have people that let me down, and that's okay. I've learned to deal with that, right? But once I started learning how to deal with those things, that's when things started to change for me. So I'm hoping that you go into 2023 with a new attitude. I hope that you go into 2023 and get rid of the word can't. Maybe that could be the first thing that you do on your list, is get rid of the word can't. Don't let can't be in your dictionary. Don't let it be there. Like, exit it out of your mind. Think of things that are possible. I think it's Les Brown that says impossible. It doesn't say impossible. It says I'm possible. I'm possible. You are possible. You can do whatever you want to do. You just have to learn how to use the tools, get your mind right, start working on you. It doesn't happen overnight. I say that too. Like, I didn't get here overnight. I'm 57 years old, and it's taken me a long time to get here. And I've honestly had the most growth in the last 2 years, because I learned to detach, I learned to forgive, and I learned more about gratitude. So I'm hoping that you hear this podcast today. And if you don't hear it before New Year's Day, that's okay. You can hear it sometime the month of January. But I just hope that you will just embrace and love yourself. Embrace yourself, love yourself, talk to yourself in the mirror. It's okay. It's okay. And it's okay to have bad days, but it's not okay to stay in those bad days. You need to help yourself get out of them. Find somebody you can talk to. You would not know the difference that it makes. I talk about counselors, and I think counselors are a great thing. And if you don't have one, or you can't afford one, then there's people that you can just talk to. There's YouTube channels you can listen to. But, sometimes you just call a friend and you can share how you're feeling, and that'll help you just to get it off your chest. You know, some people stay there, some people I talk to and I talk to and I talk to and I talk to, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. They're draining my soul. I still love them from afar and then I pray for them. But you can't let people drain your soul, especially if you're an empath, because I'm an empath. So it makes it a little difficult. But just put your boundaries up and know that you're going to be okay. You're going to get through 2023. I know there's so many things out there that were like devastated, that hurt us. But if you can get your attitude of gratitude, it's going to help you to get through those struggles. Because, like I said, there's always going to be struggles. There's going to be things that happen. There's going to be death. There's going to be people that you lose as friends. There's going to be maybe somebody that you love that they don't love you back, and or vice versa. They love you, you don't love them, and you go through those hurts and things. But I promise you, you can get through them. I am here to just be the light in the world. I am here just to offer you all hope. I am here to show you that you can be a warrior. I can show you that you don't have to be a victim. You can be a victor. I feel like my life is victorious. For many years, it was not victorious. For many years, I just got out of bed and I did what I had to do to get through my day. I did what I had to do to make sure my son had food on the table. I did what I had to do to block all of the traumas in my mind. That's where my addiction came in. That's where my alcoholism came in. And I used it to block everything, to block the pain, to block the hurt, to block the things that I went through. And now I don't block those anymore. I talk about them. I bring them out. I help people with them. So please, whatever you do, try to love yourself. Try to get in the mirror and tell yourself that it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Reach out to someone. If you need a counselor, make sure you do that. I just want everyone to know that you are amazing. You were put on this earth for a purpose. God loves you. And I know that I believe in my heart and soul in you. You guys all have a blessed New Year's Eve. If you hear this before then, be safe out there. I love you all. I can't wait for you guys to see what's coming in 2023 with Hope. I have big things coming and I'm super excited about it. I may be coming to a state near you, or your state, I guess, a city near you, your state. I have so much going on, but for right now, please just practice the pause, learn your boundaries, learn to love yourself, have an attitude of gratitude. However you pray, meditate, whatever you do that. Get in the habit of doing those things and your life's going to change. You guys have an amazing, amazing new year and a blessed 2023.